Okay, this is a video of my 1972 Mercury Cougar XR7 Convertible. This is one of only 1,900 made, from what I understand, in 1972. They were based off a Ford Mustang, so you see a lot of Mustang in them, apart from the front and rear clips. But if you actually look at the side profile, you totally see Mustang. Now this was 3 inches longer in the wheelbase than the Mustang. So what that did is it gave you a little bit more legroom inside. So the back seats, although not luxurious, you can fit adults back there for short trips. I'm the second owner of it, me and my wife. We've had it 10 years. We bought it from the original owner. The original owner was a lifelong friend of my wife. And she remembers her driving this in high school back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, around that time period. Her mum originally bought it for her older sister when her older sister went off to university. And when she was done with it, Kathy got the car. And then Kathy kept the car all the way up until 2014 when she sold it to us. XR7 is a really cool package because it has a leather interior, which is kind of unusual for, Mustang probably wouldn't have that. Here's the Cougar emblems embossed on the seats. It has full instrumentation on the dash, stock. So what you have, which is, most cars nowadays have this, but back in these times, most cars just had idiot lights. But we've got voltage meter, oil pressure gauge, temperature gauge, rev counter tach, and speedo. This is really cool, the Cougar emblem on the steering wheel. This is the original steering wheel. This is called a rim blow wheel, but unfortunately, for some reason, there's the buzzer for the car. So all the buzzers and everything work on this car, which usually is the first thing to go out. But it's because the key's in, that's why the buzzers. So if I take the key out, there we go, stopped it. So you're meant to press, let me see here, you're meant to press on the horn here. Fortunately, there's something wrong with it, but the horn does work by just pressing right there. Somebody could probably restore that. So anyway, let's get back to Cougar things, XR7 things. I believe this center console was not standard on the Cougar, but on the XR7 package it was. Power windows too. I don't know if that was, I think that was an optional extra actually on the XR7. And then you see as soon as we shut the door, the buzzer stops buzzing. This car's got the original 14-inch wheels on it with the original hubcaps. It's in the original color, which is Ford just called it white, very exciting, with the original colored interior too, which is dark red. So this is how she came from the factory pretty much, probably even with thin wall white walls like it has now. I really like the front of the Cougar. Look at that, the front is so cool. I just love the intricacy of it. I mean, just look at this turn signal / running light, isn't that neat? Great grille. 71 and 72 had this really cool front bumper that was kind of wrapped down under the car. So it wasn't really noticeable. In 73, unfortunately, because of federal laws, the bumper got bigger and bigger. We know where that went with. By 75, bumpers on cars were awful. But luckily this is early enough to still have a nice front bumper. Paint is excellent on it. It's got this cool pinstripe down the side, which is very 70s. The car just screams 70s. It's got sequential turn signals. Let me see if I can get those on. Turn the ignition on. Hold on, just bear with me here. Ignition on. Okay, let's see. There we go, see that? That's so cool. Give people a treat when you're using your turn signal. let's have a look under the hood. Oh, so the optional extra this has too, it has not just one mirror, but two. Back in the 1970s, you paid extra for the passenger side mirror. All right, let's have a look under the hood. There we go. 351 Cleveland, great engine. 4-barrel Cleveland. The 4-barrel, the factory 4-barrel car had different heads. This is a 2-barrel car. It still has great heads. These are still really good heads. Way better than a 302 or a Windsor head. And I upgraded it to a 4-barrel intake and a 4-barrel carburetor. It's got a 4-barrel Edelbrock 600 CFM with an electric choke. Also upgraded the alternator. The original alternator was like 50 or 60 amps, something horrible like that. So this has got a higher output alternator. I think this was a 90 amp alternator. And then I put electronic ignition in it and a high energy coil. So the car runs really strong. It's got power steering from the factory. There's power steering. Occasionally leaves a drop here and there. Right now it's not leaking for some reason. God knows what it is. Did have a big sanding compressor right here. I was gonna put AC in it, never got around to it. I still have a compressor. I got as far as pulling the ugly thing off and leaving it be. So somebody could do that. There's a condenser still here. The condenser's still here, and all of the AC stuff, rest of the AC stuff's here. There's the filter and all the other stuff. So it's got the original padding, sound insulation on the hood. Shut the hood. Look at the gap lines. American car in the 70s, that's pretty good gap lines. Oh, you know what I forgot to show you? This is really neat too. Look at the original paint on the inside here. When it got repainted, the inside wasn't repainted. These inner parts of the fender, so these are the original bolts with no paint over them. It's really nice. Same down this side. And just to show it's original sheet metal, that's nice. There we go. Now let's fire her up and see how she runs. We got good oil pressure. There's the oil pressure coming up. Oh, let me shut the door so we can get rid of this horrible buzzer. There we go. We have a modern stereo here. Rev it a little bit. Oops, sorry. The light's playing havoc on the car right now. Let me rev it up. There we go. We got good oil pressure, we got good volts. Temp's just starting to come up. It takes forever to get warm, but it will get warm. It will go up there. And this is a modern stereo, but it's in the same hole as the original stereo. So it's not that DIN style, it's the old style hole. So none of it got damaged. So it looks, when I switch the car off, look, it looks like the original radio. It's not until you fire it up. And it's got an aux cord too. So right here, I have an aux cord here. So you can, I have a little aux converter to my iPhone, and then I can play Pandora on this. And then I can shut my phone inside here. That way I'm not bothered and get to listen to music. And it's a pretty good sound system. It's got hidden speakers in there, and I believe they're Infinities. It's got 3-speed automatic. It's got the clock, but doesn't work. I don't know if any of them ever work. This is the power top. It's got a power top. This is map light, which is this guy, which comes on anyway when you open the doors, and then courtesy lights, which are down there. You can't really see. Oh, there. Do you see that? Boom, boom, on, off. Let's see. Oh, the top. Let's see the top work. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's get the top up. And Here she goes. Let's press the button. This to me is luxury. I grew up with British sports cars where you just got to put them up yourself. And then there's a latch right here, and what you do is, I've only got one hand so it's pretty hard, but you just pop it in there, or pop it in here, sorry, and there you go. We'll put the top back down now. So top down, you push down, and down goes the top. Really cool, nice and easy. And oh, check this out, these are crazy fast power windows. Watch this on the front. Look, bam, bam. I mean, I know for a modern car they're not fast, but for a vintage car they're pretty fast. Okay, and let's see, temp's coming up now. There goes the temp gauge, and we still have really good oil pressure. And we got charging on the positive. If I turn the lights on, we should see that move. See that? Did you see it move when I turn the lights on? Turn the lights back off. Turn the turn signal, you can see it clicking. So you know the ammeter's working, it's charging. And let's have a look. Let's see. Oh, this is another thing. If you put the car in gear, this is a safety thing they had. It's like, put your seatbelt on. So, put your seatbelt on, goes away. Put your seatbelt off, and this light comes on too. Horrible light, horrible buzz. But I think it's neat that this stuff's still working after 50 some years. Oops, let me get the key out. And let's have a look in the trunk. This is kind of interesting. Now, Kathy's family owned the local Hilton Hotel in downtown Fresno. And when they were remodeling it back in the 80s, she happened by and saw the carpet and said, "Ooh, that would look great in the back of a Cougar." So she put the Hilton Hotel, Fresno Hilton's hotel carpet in the back of a Cougar. Gives it a kind of cool, funky vibe. What I wanted to show you though more than anything was back here. This is the original seams on the quarter panels. This is like, they put like the seam sealer right there. And from what I was told by somebody who's an expert in Mustangs, said that that's how you tell if a quarter panel's being changed or not. Well, obviously it hasn't there. And then if you look here, same thing. So there we go. Let's shut the car down, shut the trunk again. Have another good look at her. We've taken her out of town multiple times. We took her to Monterey Car Week a couple of times. And it was really cool. We were the only Cougar like this there, period. And as soon as we got onto Highway 1, just north of Monterey, a guy in a Ferrari pulls up next to us on Highway 1 there and yells, "Cool car, man." And I'm thinking, wow, a Ferrari guy thinks this old Cougar's a cool car. My son at the time, I think, was like 10 or 11, and he just couldn't get over that. He thought that was the coolest thing. But it's a great car. It's a cruiser. It's not an out-and-out muscle car, as in, you know, tire squealing muscle car, but it gets up and goes. It's not slow. And it's really, really nice to drive. Just a nice driving car. I have this right here, which is a Super Sport El Camino, but I finished restoring last year with a 454, and that is terrifying to drive. I mean, it's fun, but at the same time, you got to be on your A game anytime you drive it. 500 horsepower with a 454. This, you can just relax and drive it. It's a very, very fun car to just go cruising in. And it's pretty enough where you can take it to car shows. People hardly ever see Cougars, so it stands out. I've really enjoyed the car, but my wife's had the opportunity to buy her deceased brother's 57 Lincoln Premier two-door hardtop, and something has to go, so this is the car that's going. so we can get the Lincoln. But she's been a great car. I've really enjoyed her. A quick look at the documentation that comes with the car. We've got right here the original warranty card. I think this is what they call a protector plate, one of these things. But it shows the VIN number of the car and all that good stuff. Then we have the original sales receipt. Kathy's family bought this August of '72. Paid $4,991 for the Cougar. They got a deal because list on it was $5,200. So this is the options the car had. See, you had to pay an extra an extra $9 for that mirror on the other side. Base price was $3,500, and fully loaded was $5,100. Neat. This is for this car. It's VIN number on it and everything. Then we have old registration slips. This is really cool. This is an old smog certificate from I don't even know when this is from. I can't even see a date on it. Oh, here we go. 8/3/72. So I had to get smogged. And then just your standard owner's manual and warranty cards and all of that kind of stuff. And I thought this was really neat. This has, again, the VIN number of the car on it, Cougar XR7 Convertible. I believe the VIN number's on there somewhere, but it tells you all about the ability of overtaking and all the things like that. Oh yeah, there's a VIN number on it. That was an interesting little piece of paper. So all of this documentation comes with the car. 50 years of documentation. No, these don't. This right there, all yours. Let's go for a drive. All right, well, here we are in the '72 Cougar, and we're going to go for a drive on the freeway. See how she drives on the freeway. She takes off nicely, smoothly. Barely even feel the shifts. What's nice about this Cougar is the XR7 package came with full instrumentations. It's got a tach, it's got a temperature gauge, it's got a fuel gauge, obviously, speedo, oil pressure, and amps, which is kind of nice. We did put a new stereo in it. It fits in the same hole as the original stereo, but it's modern. It sounds a lot better. Modern speakers. Let's put some music on. So it sounds good. We're going to get on the freeway and see how she runs on the freeway. Now, one of the things I do when I go on the freeway is I put the front windows up just to stop the wind. It's really quiet in here with the windows up. There we go. See? Perfect. Nice cruising. So it's great for cruising. It's a great cruising engine with a 3-speed transmission. driver. Right now, if I can get a picture of the, here we go, the tach. We're under 2,500 RPM and we're at 65 miles an hour. So it's really nice for freeway cruising.